Yeah. Oh, good evening, Alia. How are you?
Fine,
Could you please raise your voice?
fine.
Okay, so let's get started. Could you please open the sheet I'm presenting in front of your eyes on page 7? And I'm going to explain the phrase. What a phrase is. Ready?
Yes,
Okay, so what's a phrase? Phrase is two or more related words that do not contain the subject or verb paired together. So phrase can be very short or quite long. For example, after lunch, this is phrase. So after slithering down the stairs across the road, this is also a phrase. It doesn't matter how many words the phrase could have. However, the meaning is not complete. Okay, so again, here this phrase is two words, one and two. So, and here we have more than one word. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. Here we have nine words. In both are called phrases, but the first one is a two-word phrase, and here this is more than two words. Okay, but both of them are phrases, but the meaning here is not complete. Yes or no? Here we have after slithering. Here we have verb, but we don't have subject. So it means we don't have the subject and verb paired together. Did you get me?
yes,
So here we have types of phrases. We have noun phrase, we have adjectival phrase, we have adverbial phrase, and we have expanded noun phrase. Let's go through them all by the first one, noun phrase. What's a noun phrase? It must include a noun. So it's a must that the noun phrase includes a noun. So the noun could be person, place, or a thing. And the modifiers. What are modifiers? The words talking about the noun or the words describing the noun. Again, modifiers are words that come before the noun or after the noun. But both, or modifiers, whether it comes at the beginning or before the noun or after the noun, both are modifying the noun or are talking about the noun, either before or after, that distinguish it or talks about it. So it could be adjective plus noun. Adjective is called modifier describing the noun, or any other modifier to the noun. For example, can you please go through this and read it?
the shoplifted pair of jeans.
Yeah, the shop lifted pair of jeans. So first of all, the noun here is pair. I think that the word the shoplifted are modifier describing pair, and also pair of what? Of jeans. So the two word jeans here are talking about pair at the same time. So the noun phrase will be all of it. So all of it will be noun phrase. The shoplifted pair of jeans, all of it acts or serves as a noun phrase. Another one, a great English teacher. I think here the main noun is teacher, yes or no? And I think
Yes,
a great English, three words that modify teacher. So this is going to be called noun phrase, yes or no?
yes,
So a is modifier, great is modifier, English is modifier, and all of these three words are talking about the noun or the main noun, which is teacher, but all of it will be counted as a noun phrase. Now let's go through an exercise and to try our own sentences. Now here I need you to read, underline the noun phrase of each of the following
in
sentence.
each of
The green and red balloons look perfect. Where are the noun phrase? Can you please locate the noun phrase here in each of the sentences? Each of the sentence below here. Can you please read the first one for me?
the green and red balloons look perfect.
Yeah, which phrase is noun phrase here? First of all, I need you to
It's
locate the
the
noun.
green and red balloons.
Yeah, I think that the main noun here is balloons, yes? And the green
Yes,
and red are adjectives describing the
sorry.
balloons. So it will be noun phrase from there till balloons. Can we have another try? Go to number 2.
Jenny gave the neatly packed gift box to her mother.
Your eyes have to spot the noun, and from which you have to look for the words they go or they describe this noun. Again, you have to spot the noun or the main noun in the sentence, and you have to look around the noun to find the modifiers, whether before or after this noun that describe it or that modify it. Huh. What is the noun here?
It could be.
Of course, I have noun
gift
Jenna and
box.
mother, but I'm talking about noun which is described. I think that the noun is box. How about which words are modifying the word box? Is it Jenny or gave or the neatly packed gift or to her mother? Which words are describing the underlying noun?
Gift.
What? Is it gift only?
Gift.
Is gift only
Gift only.
modifying box? Or I think that the neatly packed gift box, all of these words are noun phrase or are modifiers to the word box. So the neatly packed gift box, this is noun phrase. Let's have another try. Number 3.
The end of the story was quite a
Quite a
surprise.
surprise. I need you to locate the noun and from which you have to look for the words modifying it. Huh.
I think the noun phrase will be the story was quiet.
The story was quiet. If we underline this, the story was quiet. For example, here we have subject and here we have verb, so it will not be a phrase. Remember at the beginning, I told you that the phrase doesn't include both noun, verb and subject together. Yes or no? So in this case, it will not act as a phrase. Yes or no? It will be a clause. Huh.
The end of the story.
Yeah, exactly. The end of the story. So the noun here is story. Which words are modifying the word story? I think the end of the story will be a noun phrase. Yes or no? Let's have another try until you master it. My old book of maps is in this rack.
My old book of maps.
Yeah, exactly. My old book of maps. So the noun here is maps, and the words my old book of are modifiers to the word map. Also, this rack, this can be noun phrase. The noun is rack, and this here is a modifier. It tells us which rack. Yes or no? It could be also a noun phrase. Let's go to number 5.
Kylie gifted us her handmade gifting card. Her handmade gifting card.
Yeah,
a noun phrase.
handmade greeting cards. The noun is cards. From hand, from her, exactly. Her hand made greeting cards are, or all of it will be a noun phrase. Can you go to number 6?
Can we adopt that little brown spotted dog? Little brown spotted dog.
Little brown spotted dog. So let's go to another. I think that you got it, yes?
Yes.
Okay, now let's go to the second kind of phrase, which is adverbial phrase. What the difference between noun phrase and adverbial phrase? So noun phrase is a noun plus modifiers around it, whether before or after, doesn't matter. But the adverbial phrase is also more than one phrase, or one word, I'm sorry, and it acts as, or it describes the verb in the sentence. Again, adverbial phrase is a group of words that tell us or describe the verb. Again, adverbial phrase describes a verb. So, for example, if it tells us when the verb happens, it will be time adverbial phrase. It describes the time, tells us when. But if the phrase tells us where the verb happens, it will be place adverbial phrase. If it tells us how the verb happens, it will be manner adverbial phrase. If it tells us how often the verb happens, will be frequency adverbial phrase. So again, we have 4 types of adverbial phrase. Adverbial phrase of time, manner, place, frequency, and we have degree also. But in today's lesson, I'm going to talk about those 4 kinds. Note, the adverbial phrase can come anywhere in the sentence. It doesn't have a specific place. It could be at the beginning of the sentence, could be at the middle, could be at the end. But it doesn't matter where the phrase is. But what matters most is this phrase describes the verb. When, where, how often. Put these 4 words into mind to understand more. For example, let's go to these examples. Under the water, Jack saw the colorful fish. So I think that under the water here, which is used as an opener here, is telling us where he saw the fish. So this is called the place. Yes or no?
Yes.
Now I needed to go to the second one or the following one. Can you please have a go and read out loud?
She will come within 10 minutes.
Yeah, so within 10 minutes. What kind of it?
It's time adverbial phrase.
Yeah, time adverbial phrase. The following one?
I see my family on holidays.
On holidays.
On holidays.
What kind of it?
Frequently.
Yeah, most of my students like mistake the difference or don't know the difference between adverbial phrase of time and adverbial phrase of frequency. They can be kind of overlapping together, but the difference is quite noticeable because the adverbial phrase of frequency tells us how often, the number of times something happens in, and the adverbial phrase of time tells us when exactly something happened. If I say every morning I go to the gym, every morning, this is telling us it happens daily. I'm talking about the number of times. But if I say I went to the gym this morning is telling us the exact time only. Did you get it?
Yes.
Yeah, but look here, the adverbial phrase comes at the beginning, here it comes at the end, and here it comes in the middle. And I put 2 commas because it's extra information. She, in a careful way, crossed the tight path. So the adverbial phrase is in a careful way. What kind of it?
It's manner.
Yeah, because it answers how. This answers how, and the previous one answers how often, and so on. Note, place adverbial phrase always starts with a preposition, or sometimes. So, but tells us directions. For example, over, in, above, towards, below, among, between, because these prepositions are prepositions of places. They tell us directions. And time adverbial phrase always starts with time, like after, before, within, in 10 minutes, in the afternoon, during, at dusk, and so on. Now it's our job to do this exercise. I needed to read the first one out loud and tell me or locate the adverbial phrase and write on the space beside it the type. Go.
We expect our grandparents to arrive in about an hour.
Huh. Could
In
you
about an hour.
Yeah, in about an hour. What kind of it?
It's time adverbial phrase.
So please write here T. T means time. Write T for time, F for frequency, and so on. Number 2.
My cousins watch television almost as much as you do. As much as?
Yeah, so my cousin watches television almost as much as you do. So this one we didn't take before. I think from almost as much as you do, I think it tells us how much something happens. I think it's going to be called degree adverbial phrase. Yes or no?
Yes.
So we didn't take it yet, but I need to have a look at it. We'll discuss it later. This is degree, write D here. Okay. So number 3, because here, I'm sorry, number 2 here, someone will tell me that it's frequency. It doesn't tell us the number of times. It tells us the quantity, yes?
Yes.
So number 3, the weatherman says it will rain all day.
All day.
All day.
And it's time.
It's kind as What its type? Do you think all days, place, or time, or manner, or frequency, or even degree? Huh? Are you here?
Yes.
Yeah. What kind of this phrase? Huh? So the verb here is rain. Does all day tells us where it will rain? No. And it even doesn't tell us how it will rain. It will tell us time or frequency. I'm talking about all day. This is not number of times. This is going to be time adverbial phrase because it tells us the actual time. Yes?
Yes.
Number 4.
Your brother plays soccer better than my brother does. Better than, and it's
Better,
manner.
from better to the rest of the sentence, better than my brother does, because it tells us, tells us what? It tells us why.
Manner.
Yeah, it's manner, because it tells us how he plays soccer. So this is M, manner. And number 5.
Our friend drives on Mondays. On Mondays, and its frequency.
Yeah, it tells us every Monday. But if he said here, or the sentence says, our friend drove last Monday. Last Monday is going to be time adverbial phrase, not frequency, because something finished. So the rest will be homework, okay?
Okay.
Are you confused here?
No.
Let's have another kind of phrase, which is adjectival phrase, the third phrase. Let's all agree that the phrase is not a complete clause. It doesn't have subject and verb together. Put that into mind. So adjectival phrase is a describing phrase. It describes a noun, Mr., but will be so close to noun phrase. But the noun phrase is a combination of a modifier plus noun together. That's why we call it noun phrase. But the adjectival phrase is like more than one adjective describing the noun. But I don't care about the noun. I just care about the modifiers only, or the adjectives only. So again, a group of words that tell us or describe the noun or the pronoun in the sentence. The adjective in an adjective phrase can appear at the start or in the middle or at the end, doesn't matter for me. The adjective phrase, or it's called adjectival phrase, can be placed before or after the noun or pronoun it describes. For example, a person smarter than me needs to figure this out. I think is smarter than me. This is adjectival phrase describing what? The person. Yes or no?
Yes.
A person is smarter than, because tells us which person you're talking about. But a Mr., what the difference between the adjectival phrase again and the noun phrase? If I underline from a person, tell me, all of it together, it will be called what? Noun. Noun what? Noun phrase. Yes or no?
Yes.
But if I erase the noun and I just look at the modifiers or the adjective describing the noun, here I'm choosing the adjectives or the adjectival phrase that describes a noun or a pronoun. Another one, everyone was extremely delighted. Extremely delighted, this is a phrase describing everyone. Mom said the cost of the car is way too high. Way too high is group of adjective describing the cost of the car. So this is adjectival phrase. Did you get it or not?
Yes.
More than one adjective, but it's a phrase, not adjective. Now, these are some examples for you to have a look at. Now let's go directly to the question. Underline the adjectival phrase in each of the following sentences. Do number 1. I'll be with you.
The sour tart lemon made me pucker my lips. I think it's the sour tart lemon.
The sour tart lemon. I think the sour tart are describing the noun lemon. This is noun. Can I take the noun with the adjectival phrase, or I'm just taking the adjectives that separate the noun. So I think that the sour tart adjectival phrase describing the noun. Remember, I'm not taking the noun, or I'm not including the noun in the adjectival phrase. For example, in the reading questions, he will ask you a question like, find the phrase describing the girl. If I say the cutest and the most beautiful one, the cutest and the most beautiful, this phrase is describing the girl. Yes or no?
Yes.
So I need the adjective describing the noun. So in this case, or in this sentence, I'm going to choose, or I'm going to underline the sour tart only. Let's go to another one.
The earnest, pleading tone makes me believe she's telling the truth. The earnest, pleading.
Yeah, exactly, because both or these words are describing the noun tone. So the adjectival phrase is the earnest, pleading. Now, number 3.
The incredibly beautiful. The
Yeah,
incredibly beautiful.
beautiful. This is describing the noun. Number 4.
The new kittens are so tiny and delicate. So tiny and delicate.
Yeah, so tiny and delicate. Yes, exactly.
It was a lengthy, exhausting, and eventful trip. Lengthy, exhausting, and eventful.
Yeah, it was a lengthy, exhausting, and eventful trip. Continue. Number 6. The medicine prescribed today was expensive. Remember, this one is tricky and confusing. Number 6 here is tricky and confusing. Ha.
Prescribed today.
Bravo. Yeah, exactly. This is what I'm talking about. Someone will tell me that expensive. Yeah, expensive is adjective, but it's not. It's adjective. It's one word. It's not a phrase. I need a phrase describing the medicine. So I think that prescribed today is talking about the medicine. Expensive is adjective, but it's one word. I need a phrase. I think that you got it. Now let's have another. I need to complete the rest as homework, okay?
Okay.
Expanded noun phrase. The fourth kind of phrase is expanded noun phrase. Mister, I got confused. You're talking about phrase and under phrase. It's like an umbrella. The head of the umbrella is a phrase under which we have different types. And from these different types, we have another subtypes from them. Yes or no? But I'm talking about noun phrase and expanded noun phrase. What's the difference between noun phrase, expanded noun phrase? Both are the same. However, expanded noun phrase, the number of modifiers outnumber the number of the modifiers in the noun phrase. Mister, I got confused. Can you clarify it more? So I'm talking about the modifier. For example, if I say here, the wooden door. This is going to be called noun phrase. Simply, or to get it or to understand it more, so the door is noun. Door is noun. So the modifiers is two words, the and wooden together. But if I add extra modifiers or more than one modifier or two, 3 or 4, 5, it will be turned to expanded noun phrase because it's a longer one. It's a longer one, I'm sorry. For example, the wooden, creaky, old door. This is going to be called what? Expanded noun phrase. Yes or no?
Yes.
So, Mr. Ihab, is it useful in writing the story, the fictional story? Yeah, it's very useful. Noun phrase and expanded noun phrase make your description more vivid in the reader's mind. Yes or no? So here, if I said the wooden door, you will not imagine what looks like exactly. But if I said the wooden, creaky, old door, here you have a picture in your mind about how old this door this door is? Yes or no? So using expanded noun phrase is very important in the writing process. So here the modifiers are the, wooden, creaky, old. We have 4 modifiers describing or modifying door. So it's more than 2 or 3 modifiers. So it will form a phrase called expanded noun phrase. Remember, I'm taking the noun in both phrases, noun phrase and expanded noun phrase. Hoping you got it. Did you get it?
Yes.
So now let's apply directly. Here in this exercise, I need you to underline the expanded noun phrase in the following sentences. Can you go?
The brightly colored parrot flew through the canopy.
Canopy, yes.
Canopy. The expanded noun phrase will be the brightly colored parrot.
Yeah, the brightly colored parrot. Number 2.
After his lunch, Harold ate a sweet, delicious chocolate brownie. I think it would be delicious chocolate brownie.
How about sweet? It's also modifying the brown, yes? Chocolate brown, yes?
Yes.
So from here to here. Number 13. Do you know that after, if I have a look at this sentence, here we have another phrase, after his lunch. What kind of this phrase?
It's adverbial phrase.
Excellent. This is adverbial phrase of time. Why? Because it modifies or describes when Harold ate the sweet. Also here under the wave, we have place adverbial phrase. Can you go and find the noun or the expanded noun phrase?
It will be the strippy fish.
Where is the expanded noun phrase?
I think it will be the strippy fish.
No. This is noun phrase. Sorry, I think that the stripy fish, this is noun phrase because the modifier is 2 words. Quickly through the roof. But I have nothing here except for the stripy fish. Swam quickly through the roof. So I think that the striped fish is noun phrase, not expanded noun phrase. Yes?
Yes.
And through the roof is place adverbial phrase. It tells us where the fish swam to. And the word quickly is 1 word, adverb only. Now, let's have a look at number 9. Sometimes the words that expand the noun is in the noun phrase come after it. So the words that expand the noun could be modifiers at the beginning or modifiers could come after the noun, as I told you previously. Now, can you go to number 9 and read it out loud for me? From the cave, the dragon with the deadly claws came crashing out.
The dragon with the deadly claws?
Yeah, exactly. The dragon with the deadly claws. So here the noun is dragon. The modifiers or the words expanding the noun are from, with, till, close. And they describe the dragon. So, but both of or all of it, the dragon with the deadly claws, this is expanded noun phrase. And how if I take from with till close, it will be called what?
Adjectival phrase.
Exactly, adjectival phrase because it's just describing the noun. Now, number 10.
At the stables, Isha chased to ride the horse with a black mane. The horse with a black mane?
Yeah, the horse with the black mane. This is expanded noun phrase. Remember, after this lesson, we're going to apply what we've been talking about in the reading, throughout the reading together, okay? I'm going to ask you about the phrase types within the reading. During the reading itself, I'm going to apply these lessons and these points throughout the reading exam that we're going to be through. Okay, I think that you got the point. Now let's have an exercise. Write P for phrase, MC for main clause, and SC for subordinate clause. Remember, subordinate clause is not a complete sentence, or it's not complete clause that starts with a subordinate connective like when, while, as, plus subject and verb. as long as it's a clause, so it must include subject and verb. Yes?
Yes.
The subordinate clause cannot come alone, and it starts with a connective. And the main clause can come alone. It doesn't include connective, and it has subject and a verb. But the phrase, I told you, it could be subject alone or verb alone, but it's not both subject and verb together. Now read number 1 and tell me, by the person.
It's phrase.
It's P, phrase, exactly. All fell.
It's P, phrase.
Why? Here we have subject, the pronoun, and we have verb fell. So it's subject and verb together. It's a short sentence, short clause. Yes or no? It will be MC. Tricky. Okay?
Okay.
Number 3.
When the sun rose.
When the sun rose.
Subordinate clause.
Subordinate clause because it has subject and has a verb, and it starts with a connective or subordinate connective or conjunction. So it will be SC, subordinate clause. Number 4.
Breaking the leaves. Main clause, MC.
Is it clause? Does it have subject and verb together? It's not a clause at all. It's a phrase. It has verb only. Who's raking the leaves? I don't know. So this phrase, yes or no?
Yes.
Number 5.
Into the long road.
Raise your voice a little bit, please. Into the long road. Phrase, main clause, subordinate clause. Into the long road. Confused? Okay, I'm going to help. This is not a clause. It doesn't have subject and doesn't have verb together. I don't understand. Into the long road. This is not complete clause asla. Doesn't have subject and doesn't have verb together. So it will be phrase, P. Yes or no?
Yes.
Number 6, holding my hand. Phrase or clause?
P.
P, phrase. Don't know who's doing this. Number 7.
For the brave woman.
For the brave woman. Clause or phrase?
It's a clause.
What is the subject and the verb? What are the subject and the verb? For the brave woman. What did you understand? If this clause, it means I have to put full stop. If this main clause. The meaning is missing. For the brave woman, what is the subject and what is the verb? It's a phrase. Okay. Can you go to this one, 12?
The beast chased him. It's main clause.
Yeah, here we have the subject, the beast, and the verb chased. And this sentence can come alone. I can end it by full stop, by the way. So this is MC, main clause. Can you go to number 13?
If it is a brown one.
If it's a brown one. What kind of this line? Is it phrase or clause? Here we have subjects, we have it, and here we have the verb, which is helping verb is verb, and the sentence starts with connective from outside the fanboys or conjunction. So this is going to be subordinate clause. SC. Do number 14.
Jim stood close to the fence.
Jim stood close to the
It's
fence.
main clothes.
Yeah, this is main clothes. Spoken in haste. Spoken in haste.
Phrase.
Could you figure out what kind of this line, the sentence?
Phrase.
It's what?
It's a phrase.
Phrase or close? Phrase, close, huh? Choose.
Phrase because there's no subject.
What? I can't hear you.
Phrase because there's no
Yeah,
subject.
exactly, phrase. I think that you're answering, but your voice is not clear for me. That's why I misunderstand or I mishear you. So please, could you please like raise your voice a little bit for me, please, 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 or else I will call your brother to fight with you. Okay, now let's leave this part and go to a collective part. Let's apply everything we studied in this page. Look here. Write what language technique of the words written in bold. What language technique, like is it phrase, adverbial phrase, or expanded noun phrase? Is it a clause? Is it a sentence? For example, the man who got the first place is my friend. Who got the first place is adjectival clause. Remember what the difference between adjectival clause and adjectival phrase. Adjectival clause has a subject and a verb, and it describes a noun or pronoun before it. But the adjectival phrase, the same job, but without subject. Yes or no? Or without the subject and the verb together. Did you get me?
Yes.
Okay, let's have a look at number one. Beneath water, a colorful fish was paddling. What kind of the underlined or the phrase written in bold?
It's adjectival phrase.
Beneath water, a colorful fish was paddling. I think beneath water is telling us where the verb or where paddling happened. I think this is going to be adverbial phrase of place. Yes or no? Place adverbial. It describes the verb here. I know that everything will be overlapping, but it will take time, or one or two or three sentences, and you'll get used to answering such kind of question. I know it's confusing a little bit, but with practice, you will get it. Adverbial phrase of time. Okay, do number two.
Beneath water, a colorful fish was paddling.
I wrote the same sentence, but I highlighted different words. A colorful fish. What
It's
kind
a
of
noun
this?
phrase.
It's what?
A noun phrase.
Yeah, it's a noun phrase. Exactly. Excellent, dear. It's noun phrase. Now it's getting better. The man in black jeans is weird.